How's it going? I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to go over the 4 trades that I took on NQ. Definitely overtraded today. I generally try to keep it to 3 trades in a day, so overstepped that a little bit. We were able to walk away with a win, so we're up on the day $188. Just a little shy of $200 of that $2,600 profit that we're looking at for this funded account. So let's take a look at what I was watching coming into the day. We're looking at the 1 hourly chart here. Um, we've been in a bit of a range. We're in a downtrend, right? Yesterday, we kind of stepped out of that without forming a new high or a new low. So we're kind of within this range. Today, we were testing, when we opened, we were kind of testing up around the high of yesterday. And you can see throughout price today, we broke this little swing low that we had, and we've made lower lows and currently in the process of doing so. So I was watching a few levels. I had 21,375, 21,325, 21,230, 21,185, 21,100, and those are really the only ones that came into play. These up here did not get touched. Very quickly, these are all levels based off of the 8-hour time frame, looking at the point of control on the 8-hour time frame. These orange levels are points of control that have not been touched yet. So once those points of control happen in an 8-hour period, price has not come up since that and tested those levels. So we have one here looking for potential rejection there if we get to it. It's not looking like it currently. This was a potential level for a bounce, and we had a very temporary bounce from here. I'll go into that as well. It was short-lived. And then another, potential rejection up here off of points of control that led to selling that have not been touched yet. So kind of volume just sitting in those areas that has yet to been tapped. So let's take a look. We'll pull up the 5-minute chart here. You can see that we rejected off this 375 or so pretty perfectly in the morning. We dropped my first, I guess, trade idea was to watch how we react to this 21,188. Reason being, like I said, it was a higher time frame level that had not been touched yet. So I figured that there could be some liquidity sitting there. And if we take a look on the 5-minute chart, we tested and held that level. And then I was watching on the 1 minute. I'm gonna have to back this way up. All right, so we can zoom in on the 1 minute here and take a look. And we came down and tested it once, tested it twice, had good volume. In fact, some of the highest volume on that whole sell-off up until this point, and we were holding it forming hammers. I'm dropping a YouTube short today about confidence and not to doubt yourself. This is something that I continue to struggle with. I didn't doubt myself necessarily. I just placed a limit order at this level. And it looks so funny because the move is so large that everything's all skewed. But I placed a limit order at that level once we printed this hammer, and then the next 5-minute candle opened. We moved up and hit what would be my take profits without filling me. So what I should have done here is probably just market entered after I got that confirmation at a level. I should have just entered regardless instead of trying to time the absolute perfect entry. Because like I said, I tried to enter on this level, and you can see we opened just a little bit above it and then raced up and touched this level here. It looks small. It's not a huge move, but it was about 40, a little over 40 points. And that's all I'm looking for is 30 to 40 points. So that was a trade that I was looking for and didn't get in. And I think that might have led me to overtrade a little bit today because, like I said, I was trying to enter that trade. It's probably one of the big things I was watching today. And we didn't get some sustained bounce, right? We didn't get some huge move. I was hoping that this would be a bit of more of support. But the idea is that we did get a bounce off of this level that went from 86 to 23, so like about 50 points, a little under 50 points. So that would have been enough for me with entering on this, following this hammer, no drawdown. It would have been a really quick 1-minute trade, really, right? And I'll be happy with that. So I missed that. And then from there, I was just kind of watching to see how price responded to some of these levels. We came down, we held right around this like 20,980. From there, we started to move up. I took my first trade. I take a short. So we can see here, I'll pull this, get this chart adjusted as well. So why did I take a short here? Well, we had a bounce, but then I noticed that volume dropped pretty significantly on this candle, and then that point of control was way up top. We had a bit of a doji, so a little bit of a, not telling us a whole lot there in terms of strength or weakness. But with that point of control high up, it was telling me that there were some sellers pushing price down in here. Then we had this point of control on this 5-minute bearish candle that was right at this level, is 21,040 or so. And as price came up and touched it, so we see on the 1 minute as well, we kind of see price looking weak. And then we came up and we touched that and started to pull back, and that's when I entered, because it was a confluence of price action looking weak, volume looking weak, stacked point of control, a level. We were weak on the day, and I was looking for a rejection here. I entered short, price started going in my direction, and when it did, and once again on the 1 minute, this all looks pretty skewed, but price, I was up about 20 points, and I thought that my take profit was going to hit, so I moved my my stops into break even. Price reversed and stopped me out for break even on that trade. I think I made like $20 or something. From there, price climbed higher, obviously, and I tried to enter a long here. This was my sole losing trade on the day. On the 1 minute, it's a little bit clearer, and I could have avoided this trade for sure. I think that I could have avoided this trade had I waited for a bit more confirmation on the 5 minute, and I could have avoided this trade had I just taken this original short up here. And looking at it, obviously in hindsight, it's a lot easier, but the idea was there, right? Because we have this push up. Once again, long upper wick. We wicked off kind of this area up in here that we were holding previously. We have that point of control, nice bearish point of control on a bearish candle. We came up, we tested it, we closed lower, we had a point of control pretty high up on this candle. Basically all this is saying is looking at where the volume is and looking at where price action responded to it. And then following, we were kind of wicking off that previous point of control on this candle. So I entered long once we held this level on this hammer. So we came down, tested it once, tested it twice, a third time, and started moving up, and I entered long here. My target was, I had a 30-point target, and it was right at, I think, 45. So this wick missed me by 1 point. And then my runner was at this level up here. So I can kind of show right where I entered, and you can see that we wicked off right where my take profit was. And then we came back and stopped me out for a loss. I think that, I think missing this first trade and then having this miss my take profit by less than a point and then stopping me out for a loss kind of caused me to overtrade today. I think that caused some of my emotional trading. I know it did. Quickly after that, once we started to break down, then I took a short. This is what I'm talking about. This is the emotional trading you don't want to do, right? I took a long and then immediately after took a short. So it's just like revenge flip trading. This short actually would have worked out. Once again, it started to move in my direction and I brought my stop to break even just because I already had a loss and I wanted to de-risk. And it popped up and stopped me out for break even before coming down and hitting my target, which was this level down here. So you can see kind of where I entered in there. My stop was just above this wick. I didn't love it. Price was moving pretty fast today. So I felt like I was a little cautious, which led me to make some mistakes. But so that's that trade. That was also a small win. It was like $10 or something because it was essentially break even. This leads me to my one actual good winning trade. And that is when we came down and held this level here. We got the confirmation on the 5 minute with the hold. We also had the 1 minute. We had nice volume. We had hammers. We were looking strong. We weren't making any push lower. And I entered long on this candle. Quickly moved up and hit my first take profit for 30 points. My runner was at this wick up here. So I was looking at trying to get, I think that was almost 100 points. It was over 100 points because I entered at 2150 exactly. and my take profit on my runner was 21,165. So it would have been about 115 points. But my runner got stopped out here. Once we moved above this level, we started to look weak. I decided to trail that stop pretty aggressively because I was up, 50, 60 points. I didn't want to give that away. So we got stopped out for 51 points on the runner. Overall, nice win, right? That was $402 win. That's what brought me up on the day because I already had a 200 something loss. I think I had like $250 loss. So that $402 win was solid. That brought me back. And then my final trade, and I'm not upset about this. This was mainly just a continuation of this trade that I took. I got my runner stopped out, but then we started to hold this level, and I entered just 2 contracts long with super minimum risk. Once we moved up at all, I just moved my stop to break even, just because we had broken and closed back above this level, and we're looking like we were trying to hold it. And I just wanted to see that continuation, take that wick out, which we ultimately never got, right? I don't think we did. We did not. So it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But yeah, that was just kind of playing around. I was already up on the day. I just took 2 contracts just to see if I could squeeze a little bit more juice. Obviously, probably not recommended, but the trading in here was more the over trading, right? I think this loss and then taking the immediate short, that was over trading. I should have probably not taken this first short and probably taken this one. Like I said, easy to say in hindsight. But the long down here, I don't hate. And funny enough, that's the one that worked out, right? Not sure why I'm making money on longs on such weak days. Obviously, I think I need to just continue to review and see opportunities as they are instead of whatever bias I may have. That's it. We can take a look at the rest of the day. Like I said, we have made lower lows. Looks like we're doing some chopping in here. We have a level down here. Wouldn't be surprised to see that with how weak we have been. I'm going to continue to go back and back test some of this stuff and review. One of the things I really want to play around with is these untested points of control. I did a little bit this morning, and that's one of the reasons why I was watching them so heavily is watching how price reacts to the first time it comes into contact with one of these points of control that hasn't been touched yet. To me, that just signifies a level of high liquidity. Once price reaches it, looking for some sort of like continuation of the move. So I'll go back and continue to back test that and adapt that because I think that could be a valuable thing to watch. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. I do stream live Monday through Friday. If you want to stop by, please do so. We'd love to have you there. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.